not, I wouldn't say I'm goal oriented. I would say that there's like 1,000 things happening in my brain at once,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And I can see pathways really clearly. And what I would like to achieve every day is like one step down that path every day. And when I was an artist, a full-time artist years ago, I ran my own record company, and I was just I had no idea what I was doing, but I could see the path, you know. So maybe what was at the end of that path as an artist? Well, was it make enough money to pay my bills? Was it fame and or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Was it being able to share my music with my fans? There was probably all parts of that. I don't know. Like I don't wake up in the morning and say, this organization that I'm so lucky enough to work for now, we know where we want to be in 2, 5, 10 years for sure. But for me, it's always about like bite-sized chunks.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I want to come back to that. I need to get a little more information first. Tell me about your music career.
Well, it really began. Like I said, I was writing songs from the time I was a kid. So when I graduated from university, though, years ago, 1991, I know, I moved to Sudbury because that's where my parents had relocated because of my dad's job. And we knew Sudbury. My dad was born in Sudbury. We have a family cottage on Manitoulin where my sister lives and has a brewery. That's our connection to the north. So I had come back from school my plan was to move to Toronto actually as quickly as possible. I had just graduated from the theater department at Concordia, and I was just so determined to be an actor, and I ended up.
Oh, acting was the thing.
Well,
okay.
yeah. I acted all through high school and in public school and in kindergarten. My acting.
Kind of acting, film, television, or theater.
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 Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So my plan was to just get a job, make a bunch of cash bartending or whatever in Sudbury, and then find a place in Toronto.
All right, you just explained a whole bunch to me. All right, bartender. Okay.
Yeah. I was a career bartender for a while.
All right.
But that was the best job ever.
Mm-hmm.
Super social, great way to meet people. And I made a lot of money, or enough money, more money than I'd made at that point in my life, that's for sure. Anyways, in Sudbury, I found myself writing more songs, and then I would, your peeps at the bar, whatever, you play guitar, let's play, and people would hear my songs and oh, that's really good. So I started to play more and more and more, write more and more songs, and then I just went out and got some gigs and met amazing musicians in Sudbury. Which is a city that I love, and just really my career just began very organically. Yeah. Then I recorded like a kind of like an EP on a cassette with my cousin, who's a musician in Toronto. Anyway, that's a long story, but that led to more shows. And it was the early '90s. I mean, there's a couple of musicians, like female musicians around, not very many, and so.
But it was also kind of like the birth of that being an important thing, though, too. Female musicians being a focus of what the conversation and entertainment was in the mid '90s.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, my Lilith Fair, whatever. I mean, I'm a huge fan of everyone from Katie Lang, Sarah McLachlan, Holly Cole, not to mention all like Joni Mitchell and all the rest, like earlier, but. For sure, and I actually later in my career got to play some really cool shows with some great artists who I'd always loved and admired. But in Sudbury in those days, there I just got a lot of opportunity because I worked really hard, and I was running I created this label called Baby Hugh Productions, but basically was sort of manufacturing, distributing, and marketing, promoting my own music. So. But it was like, I don't know, I just followed my instincts.
Where did the concept for that come
in? I think that I felt that I needed to, for some reason, have something that looked bigger than just me around me.
But why build it yourself rather than just try to attach yourself to something that already exists?
Oh, I don't think would not have even known how to find a label or... Yeah. I was going to things like Canadian Music Week, and I was involved from an early stage with the Songwriters Association of Canada. I was slowly plugging myself into the actual music industry, but I lived in Sudbury, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. So I'm like, oh, I should just have my own label. And What do I think a label should do? I don't know. I guess people should hear my music. How are they going to hear my music? Well, I need to record it, and then I need to send it. Then I'll talk to people I'll talk to the people who do play it, or I'll try and get more people to play it.
You just said the thing that separates you from the majority of people who start a music quote unquote career. You got to the I'm going to record an album, and then you still had shit to do.
Well, and so, yeah, it's funny. I actually had a lovely conversation with a young artist this morning, and I spend a lot of time talking to young artists, which is one of my favorite things to do, because I definitely learn things the hard way. Like, what it's a great question. Like, why would you start your own label? There's there's lots of labels, and frankly, if you're good, one of those labels is going to want to work with you, right? But I didn't know that, and I really liked, which is no surprise if you know me now, I like being in charge of everything. I like making sure everything was done exactly as it needed to be done, on time, in a particular way. And I created my own website in 1994. I coded it. I had some help from some great friends who knew more than me, but I figured out how to record and upload an MP3 in 1993, 94. Took 2 days, by the way. Yep. And that sort of thing really empowered me. Like, I was like, oh my God, I got this. And I was I wasn't paying anybody else except my musicians. Like,
right.
All the money was coming to me. And then at a certain point, I worked with an agent and a manager to advance my career. I mean, those were early days, but really exciting. And it was great I was really proud of that. I still am.
Don't forget, you can subscribe to our full audio episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you find your audio podcasts. The full episodes, highlights, and our live off-the-floor performance videos can be found at our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the AVB Podcast. Of course, you'll find links to our incredible sponsors and this week's guest in the description below. The AVB Podcast is part of the Border City Network. Find more great content at bordercitynetwork.com. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.